I heard a personal branding exercise recently, and it's like we share too much of our successes, and yet we don't really talk about our faults. Yet it's the faults that humanize us and create memories. And it was so interesting to me because this is Chris Do. I'm not sure if anyone, if you know Chris Do or have heard of him. He's a YouTuber and he's the owner of the Futur. He's a design firm, but he talks a lot about personal branding. And he says that you should have like a 2-word intro and think of like, write down a bunch of negative words about yourself and see which one really stings. And that's kind of like your keyword. And mine's being a coward. We can dig into that if ever you want to. But that was like a really like deep word to me. And I can talk about like, yeah, there's a whole. So now what I do is it helps me write content. It helps me when I interview people. It helps me because I know that's my pain point, and I know I need to focus on that to make sure that's not going unchecked. So if
Oh,
you can take a moment and think of that exercise, like think about like what word is it that that really stings, and you can then I don't have to go up on stage and be like I'm a coward. I don't have to say that, but what I can say is I can talk about being a coward in these certain moments and sharing that because that's my personal pain and my personal problem. And so like those types of things are what moves people, and digging into that even more is really powerful.
and I would love to just a caveat is I think sometimes women will get so into their story and so into their faults that they don't always remember to, like how did you get out or what does this have to do? How is this
What's
going
the
to help me?
transformation, right?
Right.
We always have to bring it back to transformation. So it has to be the transformation. This was the scenario before. This is the problem. I learned this. I overcame that. Now here's where I am now. Doesn't mean you're problem free. Just means you've learned.